Good. So this is us out last night with a summary of what we're up to this week. We're, as you can see, kind of winding down on our usual lessons and classwork, and preparation has been diminished as we put more and more emphasis on our project. So the milestone for this week was to run your model for the first time. And I just want to mention that I know I've gotten a few emails from people, not a lot, but just a few, saying, oh, I got an error. I wasn't able to complete the milestone because I ran into an error. Well, that is exactly what I'm aiming for with this or these early stages of the project. So I don't want anyone spending hours and hours trying to resolve an error on their own. You just want to kind of unearth them and find out, okay, where am I getting stuck? How do I get past it? Because, writing a whole an algorithm in Python for the first time is challenging, and the order of operations is important to pay attention to. So there are a lot of ways where you can run into an error, and they're usually easily fixed. So I have this afternoon, I'm going to spend some time looking at the projects as they, wherever you are. So as long as you submit your link, you're in a good spot. I know you're making updates to that link all the time. Had a few conversations with people over the last week, and then hearing from some new people this week about small issues that they're running into. From my view, I think they're probably small issues, but I know from your perspective it seems more urgent, but I guarantee we'll be able to get through any of those obstacles through some correspondence. And of course, if your group wants to meet with me, and this may be more for online students, if you want to meet, I do have time on Wednesday. And like I said earlier, I'm opening up some extra appointments on Monday the 21st. So I want to make sure that's really clear. We won't hold a regular class meeting next Monday of the Thanksgiving week. I'll just be in my office, 327. It's actually really cozy in there. I just put in some furniture. So come visit me. I do have a teapot too if you would like to have some tea, or you can join me online. That's fine too. But just make sure you reserve the time, so make sure you get your full attention during that meeting. Okay. All right. So one of the other things we're going to be doing this week is looking at model performance diagnostics through some visuals. And I'm making some modifications to some classwork. It's just going to be a few questions. I'm aiming for really 30 to 45 minutes of time to put into that, because I know we're spending a lot of time on the project. So we'll be taking a look at a marketing data set. It's nice for us to take a look at lots of different data sets. And I'm adding in some interesting scenarios to look at profit, return on investment, and how that can relate to some different decisions we might make about the model, and specifically the number of customers to target. That's always a really interesting thing to examine in a marketing scenario. What's the ideal number of customers to target? So this, you could preview the bank data set quickly, just 5 minutes glance at that. So for the coming week, our plan will be to do that classwork probably during class on Wednesday or thereafter. And then the next project milestone is really just refining and adding on to where you are. So I'm just trying to keep us on a pace that I think makes sense for the project. So we'll aim for next week to have that completed. So after the break, when we come back from our Thanksgiving break, we should be in a place to we should have more or less finalized the model and its evaluation, and then we'll be able to start writing up some interpretations. Any questions about that? Anything you're wondering about, like just this timeline? Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let me see what I have. I don't think I've posted those yet. But the plan is this. Let's just look at our little computer calendar. What I usually do is just have a sign up for a presentation. So let's see, we come back the week of the 28th of November. So we'll have the 28th and the 30th. And a lot of that time is going to be devoted to just project check-in. I do have one topic on unsupervised learning I wanted to cover in that week. And then the Monday, Wednesday of the, so this is pretty much set, it is. I'll have signups for presentations on Monday the 5th and Wednesday the 7th. And if we need the extra time, we'll have Monday the 12th as an overflow day for more presentations. We may use all three of those days, and we may just need to use the Monday the 5th and Wednesday the 7th. But some groups may need to go on Monday the 12th as well. So that's our timeline. Thanks for asking. I'm sure people were wondering about that. And I don't know if I mentioned that. I don't think I have it written down, so I will be doing that. What online students have typically done in the past is record a short presentation, usually just using Zoom. You can use Zoom to record yourself. It doesn't have to be, we're not looking for high production value here, so you know, if you want to run it once and then run it again, that's probably good enough. I know there's kind of no end to how perfect you could make your videos, but just a 10-minute video. I recommend 6 to 10 slides, and I do have an example for you to show what we're looking for that final presentation. So that'll have to be ready, of course, before we start doing the presentation. But then you do have some more extra time to finish up the collab notebook and fine-tune everything before that needs to be turned in. Our last day of classes is December 12th. So we still have 4 weeks, right? So that's our final deadline for all the project stuff is the 12th. I believe that's right, but I can check on that. I might have made it a few days thereafter. So we'll have reading days, and then everything is done on the 19th. I'm not sure. The academic calendar will tell us. Okay? All good? Cool. So that should be a lot of fun. Last time we did this in this class in the spring, it was really cool to see everyone's presentations. It's a chance to practice speaking speaking about something analytical, but also thinking about your audience. Because we don't know, you guys may be on either end of that conversation. You may be the analyst at some point, and you may be the high-level executive at some point, making decisions based on someone else's analysis. So I have great faith in you. So just promise when you're all top-level executives, you'll come back and visit sometimes.